You are now listening to the Real Afro Unity podcast with our hosts, Darian and Ayo, where they'll be discussing various topics that affect our African diaspora. With these conversations, they aim to hopefully bridge the gap between us African Americans with the Nigerian diaspora. They will dismantle the myths and share a new perspective. Please sit back, relax, listen, and enjoy the conversation.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Real Afro Unity podcast. This is your boy Darian, and I'm here with AYZ, OG Camilo. What's up, boy?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you been?
I'm good. It's been some time.
Yeah, it has. It's been more than a month, so we gotta catch up.
We have to. How is Jersey doing?
Oh, it's good.
All right. So, what have you been up to? What has OG Capital been up to?
Oh, man. OG Capital has been growing. We are meeting with families. We are setting appointments.
Nice.
We are making plans and structuring retirement for families. The mission is to close the wealth gap.
Sure.
And, so we're just taking it one day at a time, week at a time, a quarter at a time.
Thank you. So today, I don't want you to miss this episode of Real Afro Unity because of the person I have.
Guys.
This young, vibrant, beautiful, intelligent, good-looking, delectable, vibrant. I don't know where do I start or stop this acronym. Beautiful young lady that is with me. She's like a sister to me. I'll put it that way. I've known her now for like 4 years, I would say, and I watched her, grow in bounds and leaves, graduated college and so on and so forth. And I feel like she falls into the category of people we need to reach out to.
Okay.
For them to give us the perspective they have about Afro unity in the United States.
Yeah.
So without further ado, let's welcome Victory to the table. Hello, Victory. How are you doing?
Hi, I'm good. Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you. We're happy to have you here. So, Victory, let me start this way. Were you born here?
No.
Oh, all right. So tell me your journey. How did you find yourself in the United States?
Well, I was very young and parents decided to move over and here I am.
That is a way of saying they didn't ask for my opinion. They didn't ask me if I wanted to move or not. I just found myself in the US.
Yeah.
So when you got to the US, what class did you start from?
What age first and then class?
Can I just do class?
Yeah, you can do class.
I started in 7th grade, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, 7th grade.
You can get that age, right? All right. So, I think that would be a good place to start, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you're living in Africa, coming to the US, having to start school. I mean, you already had a good feeling of how Africa looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
Before you got here. So, how was your integration into the school system here? Was it brutal? Was it fun? Did you have to what are the challenges that you faced?
So transitioning was easy for me in 7th grade because actually when you try to calculate the grade compared to Nigeria, it's not exact. So some of the, classes have already gone through them or because the workload in Nigeria is different from the workload in America. Junior secondary school in Nigeria is different from the workload in middle school in America. And in Nigeria, I don't remember, I think then you have 10 subjects and almost all at once, right?
Yeah.
And then you come here and you have maybe 5 classes in a day and you're like, wow. And then you have locker rooms and you don't have to carry this big bag and your back you're bending over, So it was pretty smooth for me academically.
Yeah. socially?
So I'm not a social person. I've I'm just learning to be social, but um, coming over to America, it was kind of hard for me to make friends because yeah, that's coming out of my comfort zone, and I didn't like that. And aside from that, there is some, insecurities that made it worse. So yeah, I mean, in school, like people would come up to me. I'm open to people coming up to me for going up to people and starting a conversation. Jesus, no.
No.
Yeah.
All right. And why?
So my question is, how did you perceive the instructors, the teachers that you compared to Nigeria?
The teachers here were very cool. I didn't have any problems with the teacher. I think they were very nice to me.
Okay.
They worked with me and they had listening ears. In Nigeria, I had cool teachers as well. Some of them knew my parents, so I made things worse. But yeah, they
Okay.
were pretty.
Alright,
So this
sorry.
is what I wanted to like add when it comes to like the social aspect of it. Did you experience bullying or someone like taunting you because of your accent or like the way you talk? Were there other students that felt like you coming from Africa, like you don't speak the Ghana?
I didn't really experience that one, but it was mainly my skin color.
Okay.
And I didn't know I was this dark until I came to America.
Wait, can you explain that?
Yeah, I mean, so when I came to America, there's this whole thing about colorism, and the darker you are, the less privileged you are, basically. And I remember that time I would layer, foundation colors that are way lighter than me in seventh grade
Wow.
to feel like, okay,
Yeah,
at least
lighter.
I'll be acceptable. Yeah.
Oh,
So-
wow. And that was new when you came here.
Yes, I mean, people had always made comments in Nigeria about my, skin tone and everything, but I didn't know I was that dark until I came here.
So can you walk us through like an experience you probably had where you realized that, oh wow, like this is something different here?
So I remember on the bus going home one time, I had my jacket on and my hoodie on, and there was this girl coming on the bus, and she wanted to sit next to me, and it was very big, and I just took it off, and she came on the bus. She wanted to sit with her friend, but her friend had another partner, so she was going to sit with me, and she just turned. She was like, "Oh my god," and I'm like, "Okay, all right." Yeah.
That was tough.
Got it.
Yeah.
That was tough.
And plus, in Nigeria, I already had this teacher that, planted a seed, I remember we had an exam, and, in Nigeria, they mix the juniors and the seniors to reduce the cheating thing. So,
During exams, right?
yeah. So, she gave me like a bubble sheet, like from the front to the back, take one, pass back. So, I was the one at the back, and I passed it to the next person beside me because she didn't have any.
Mm-hmm.
And she just said, "Hey, you, why did you do that?" I said, "Do what? Are you talking to me?" Because what? And she's like, "Pass the paper." I said, "She does not have one, so that's why I passed the paper to her." She was like, "Oh, that's why you look like a devil." Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And she said my eyes were so red and I looked like a devil. So it didn't really hit that moment until I came to America.
Wow.
So when I came to America, that's when, it was all making sense, that, yeah, it's really a bad thing to be dark skinned.
Well,
I don't think
it's definitely hold on.
I
Yeah,
don't think
it's
it's
definitely not a bad thing.
Yeah, I mean,
I think just people are just misinformed.
Yeah.
That's just it. So we cannot. There's no way you can normalize a stupid act. That was a stupid act.
Yeah. Because I just look at it like, I don't think that is a common thing to say, like to do in Africa. Like, I know like some teachers just like say stupid stuff like that.
Mhm.
But I'm not sure, maybe she will be thinking it will affect you like years after, like maybe when you get here and people are now judging you based on your skin color, then you can say, oh, maybe that is why she was referring to me that I'm dark as the devil.
Yeah.
But I still believe when it comes to shades of dark, you're not the worst.
Well, that's because you come from Nigeria.
Yeah.
So most of the people here, they didn't even leave the state they're in. So they don't have any variances of different cultures. You understand? We have that privilege in Nigeria.
Yeah, because you can see, like, I probably know someone from the southwest who are much darker than someone from the east, for example. Because like we have like more light-skinned Eastern Nigerians than maybe in the southwest, and you hardly find a light-skinned northerner except East Fulani.
Which is
so it's a whole different culture. So for me, there is all shade of blacks in Africa. So you can be the very dark one, or the average one of it.
But that is something that I do want to point out, though, because there's a lot of people most likely that are going to be watching this video may not have had the privilege to go to Nigeria, go to Africa, leave the country. So they don't know how dark we get, really.
So just to ask you a question of now, though, before I continue from where we stop, how do you feel now?
Oh, I feel good. You can't tell me anything.
Beautiful. Nice.
So what was your journey to get to that place, though?
So I think it was all God, because in middle school, I had this white teacher, and, we're coming off the bus into the school, and she's like, oh, there goes that dark-skinned girl. Isn't she so pretty? And she would draw all this attention on me, but I never believed it. I thought it was a way of her trying to be kind and polite. So if you don't believe that you're beautiful, no matter if 10,000 people tell you, you're not going to believe it.
Yeah.
So she said every day, like, she would let a lot of things slide with me, and I didn't really buy into it until one time. Actually, so I went into the bathroom one day and looked at myself in the mirror. I just spat on the mirror and was like, God, you made a big mistake with this one, because I don't know what you were doing up there. And I started taking my relationship with God serious, and then I encountered Jesus, and from then on, I started to feel beautiful. I started to have this confidence, and till I graduated high school, like, I don't care what you say to me, it's not gonna move me.
Wow. Wait, so you just said a lot there. So can you tell me what happened for you to go to the bathroom to begin with? Did somebody say something that triggered you?
Or it's just all these experiences?
Yeah, all the experiences added up, because I didn't feel beautiful at all. So, and I remember going out with people and they wanted to take pictures, and I would disappear because I didn't want to mess the picture up. So yeah, it was all of that together, and I went into the bathroom and looked at myself in the mirror. I was like, yeah, no, this is not it.
And I know probably you don't need this anymore, but I just want to let you know you are beautiful.
You are absolutely beautiful.
Now you have come to the realization of it. But I just want to let you know, anywhere you go to, chest out, head up, go there, go do what you want to do. You are going to realize as you go into different places, you are just different.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong in being different, right? I am different. Yes. I'm probably maybe in my team, we only have 2 dark guys in my team. And I don't go to work every day thinking someone is going to look at me and say, hey, this is who I am.
Where does that come from, though? So because I'm sure you've noticed now that you've been in the States for this period of time, that inner self-confidence is missing with a lot of people that are here, African Americans. And I think that you having that inner dialogue with yourself to come to that point and say, hey, I am beautiful. Like, what can you tell someone that was in that place where they feel like they're not beautiful? what should they tap into? Because I feel like us as Africans or people that migrate into this country, we have that advantage of like believing in ourselves.
Yeah.
So people here may not have that advantage. So what would you say to a person like that, a young girl that's in that place?
I would tell the young girl not to listen to what anybody has to say, because most of the times people are just projecting their own insecurities on you. So you can't believe that. Just look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, I'm beautiful. Affirm yourself. That's very, like, words are seeds, and if you let the opinions of others come into you, it will definitely grow. So what you tell yourself is equally important. Like, I am beautiful. Like, that's going on a fertile soil. So to grow. So just shut the noises out. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well,
wow. That was a nice insight into like us having this type of discussion, and like we're trying to say, okay, we want to like build a bridge between African immigrants and African Americans, so that I'm sure if you had like one or two other Black Americans in your school that accepted you early enough, you probably won't be in that same space, right? You probably feel welcome because you feel like, oh, this person looks like me, so they should understand me better than maybe someone that is white. But if they are the ones that are now saying, oh, there's a different shades of black, then it's like, okay,
so who's on my team now?
So who's on my team now, right? And that is what we're trying to say. We can build that bridge, either from elementary school, either from, I wanted to say general singing.
Kindergarten.
From kindergarten. to college, to high school. If we see ourselves as one, if we are able to, do stuff together, accept our differences, we'll be able to like create, something wonderful and beautiful, and support ourselves and conquer together. Absolutely. And I think that is where we want to get to. What would you say, like, okay, all this happened while you were in high school, right? And,
no, middle school.
Middle school.
Yeah.
Then when you got to high school, before you went to college, how was high school here?
First of all, America got some disrespectful kids. High school, you would expect that people are maturing and everything. But they want you to feel less of yourself. Like, I went to a school.
Who's the they? All of the students?
African American students. Because I didn't really have a bad experience with whites or Mexicans. In fact, my closest friend today is Middle Eastern.
Look at that.
So, yeah. So, I had people that would take my picture in high school and they would joke about it on group chats and then send it to me. I had someone tell me in high school I looked like the moon emoji.
Damn, yo.
Yeah.
Yo,
wow.
That's a different level of disrespect. That's crazy.
And at that point, I was already getting that confidence.
Black people.
Yeah. And I saw the moon emoji. I'm like, the moon emoji is actually cute. So try again. Is that all you got?
Bars. Like, that's it. Wow.
So they want you to say something to create, conflict and have a reason to fight you and all that stuff. But I didn't have time for all of that. So I just, you're not talking to me anyway. So yeah.
Oh, because like I didn't have my like.
I didn't have problems with the guys. It was just
interestingly.
Yeah.
Women supporting women.
Right. Look.
Yeah.
So much for that.
Look at that.
Yeah. I didn't have my high school here. Like I did all that in Africa, but I'm not like immune to this kind of conversations that are coming up from high school students that have maybe had opportunities to talk to, or people that went to high school here, and it seems to be something that is like, like everywhere, like paramount in these high schools. Because the last time we brought Shirley Moore to this podcast, she told us she almost was changing her child's school like every semester. Because it was, you remember, because it was tough for her.
Tough.
Then she would just changed school.
And it's just a different bully.
It's a different bully in that school. Then at the point in time, I guess he just got tired. I think.
Right.
And
She put her into private school. Right?
Yeah, one thing about bullies is they want you to give in to them. If you ignore them, like, they lose their power. But the more you respond to them, you're gonna give them more energy. So once you ignore them and you show that whatever they're doing does not affect you in any way, yeah.
Wow.
Well, I must say you've gone through some stuff.
Yeah. Absolutely. In the short time you've been here, it's crazy. So, what did you expect this? Because I'm sure you watch movies of America.
It was all sweet high school
right.
stories.
And
it's
then
not the same experience.
So how do you process all of this?
I journal. Yeah, journaling is a way for me to get my head cleared out. Like, yeah, I like to write. Yeah. So before when I journaled, I didn't like going back to read because I didn't want to. It just felt
live in the
weird.
past.
Yeah.
But so once it's out, you move on.
But as I've grown older, I go back to read it.
Let me ask you this question. As you are passing through all this stress, did you tell your parents?
No.
Why?
What's the reason?
Why not?
Because I didn't want them to be concerned. I've always been independent and handled my stuff myself.
So it's a way of like, I'm going to shield them from letting them know like this is affecting me. But is that a good strategy? Because
well, has it been working? That's the first question. Then we'll know if it's good.
Actually, my parents don't know any of these things.
So this will be new for them too.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they watch.
Please make sure you subscribe
and the funny
and like
thing,
the video.
Everybody in my close to me would always tell me that I'm beautiful and all that. Like, you telling me that I'm beautiful outside was nothing new. Like, I didn't like those affirmations. I didn't like those, but it just you not believing anything makes it worse. Like, you just.
Yeah. So you're basically telling me that your parents already poured into you.
Yeah.
So it was you had to.
I thought my parents were lying to me because I was their child.
Because you were just. I see.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Yeah.
And then when you have African Americans here affirming those thoughts that you already think of yourself, then it becomes a reality.
Yeah.
I got you.
All right. I'm just going to, move to a collective now because if you want to dwell on high school problems.
Yeah.
So do you have boys' problems in high school?
No.
When did you start having boy problems?
I've never had a boy.
Oh, snap. Excuse me. Well, dang.
Okay. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
So what I mean by boy problems is probably not the way I put it. It's not like maybe you running off with boys or you like maybe guys now disturbing you, like coming up to you, asking you out. They want to
take on a date.
Yes,
like
exactly.
That.
So it's not like maybe you running off with guys or you having boyfriends. Like when boys started like disturbing you for relationships and everything.
So the funny thing is, guys my age range, they never had that boldness to they would just be doing it low. And then
you just say, okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't. I thought that.
So how you know then if they're not the ones coming up to you?
Some of them when I got to college, it would start to.
They'll start like.
Or they tell somebody and.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
So how was college for you?
College was okay. In college, though, that's when I encountered like Africans that they were funny.
What's the kind of funny? What kind of funny?
Because so I'm one that when I go out and you look Nigerian to me, I'm gonna ask you, are you Nigerian? Because I feel like I found my people.
Yeah.
And it has always been, not so good because I'm like, are you African? Are you Nigerian? They're like, yeah. Like, oh, I'm Nigerian too. And they're like, okay. And just walk away.
Damn. So we got Americanized, basically.
I don't know.
So
because of that, I
stay away from.
Yeah.
So are they Nigerians that like came in?
They don't get there, bro.
Through this same process, or was it Nigerians
usually them
that just like maybe just came their first year to college? Or Were they Nigerians that have been living here?
Yeah.
I believe that there were Nigerians that came in that have been living here.
Oh, okay. So the ones that have been Americanized, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wonder, they should do a study on this. How long does it take you to get Americanized? So, because is it a 5-year thing? A 10-year
I mean, it
thing?
depends on the person. Some people immediately they step their feet in my
They get acclimated
Yeah.
to.
You know one thing, right? I think in our first episode, I mentioned that, right? And I was asking you that question. I was asking you, like, are the Nigerian Americans or Africans that are now Americans, are they the ones actually causing problem for the African immigrants?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Because I also feel like some of them have like half-baked culture. Now they don't know where they are. Are you African really, or are you now fully American? They are finding it difficult to like embrace the two worlds. And so when you come sometimes and you're just like a normal immigrant, it's like they don't want you to come. They don't want you to be here.
Yeah.
The way it's like they don't want you to be here. But you are happy to see them and say, oh, this is someone that
What you just described right there, we need to have a episode about, because that's honestly the big thing that's going on now. Like, they're really trying to turn. It's because how immigrants are painted to the people that are here, because they think that you guys they're taking away opportunities where they're struggling to get opportunities. And so there's that conflict that's happening. And then a lot of them are resistant to help you because they see you as competition. And you see them as brothers. You know?
And that is where the problem lies. So,
correct.
What did you major in college?
Health behavioral science.
What guided you to that decision?
So I went into college with biochem. I wanted to go to medical school, but then I was like, okay, I don't think medical school is the way. So I was already going to my 3rd year. I wanted to major in public health, but my school didn't offer that as a major, but a minor. So I was able to minor in public health, doing health behavioral science.
So behavioral science. So it's like therapy.
Yeah, all that behavior.
So let me ask you this question. How do you balance the culture? Africa, America. Because you are already Americanized one way or the other. Even though
to the Africans you are.
Yeah.
To the Americans.
Yeah, to the Africans you're already like, I would see you and I would say yes, you qualify for a black American. So
acclimated.
But how have you been able to like balance the African culture and integrate it into the American culture?
To answer that question. So I don't think I am really into the American culture like that.
What type of food?
Actually,
what type of food?
Let's start here. Hold on, because dairy dropped a lot on you right now.
Yeah.
So let's break it down. First thing, what's your perception of the African American culture? What don't you like? Don't just tell me you don't like it or you like it. Give me details. I want the tea.
The African American culture, I think that they just, the way they react to Africans is almost like we're threats to them, So that's majorly what I've seen. And it's not all of them, but majorly what I've experienced, that's how, it is with them.
Okay.
So I don't know if I answered the question.
You did. Okay. So now, how does that inform your way you interact with them?
So I observe a lot, like not all of them are the same. We have some that are very respectful and are willing to know about the culture. I have some that would ask how to pronounce my middle name, like they're genuinely interested and I open up to them. So yeah, that way we just flow and, we connect that way. But you have some other people that you bring your food and they're like, it stings. They're the ones that like start to bash everything. So I just moved back from people like that. I just moved back from that type of energy. But the people that are willing to learn and people that are willing to, connect, I open up to them.
Are they the majority or the minority?
So for the past few years, it's majority they want to really know about the culture.
Is it that because, and this started in college? Well, that, but you're also in college.
Mm-hmm.
So is that why you're meeting the better quality people, more educated people, more informed people?
Yeah.
So now your perception of African Americans has changed the higher up you go in academics.
Because in college, I mean, there's a higher diversity in college. So you're meeting people from China, you're meeting people from all over the world, and as an African American, and you're getting educated about, different backgrounds. So I think the more people know, the more they adjust.
So when you got into college, did your perception of African Americans change, or did it remain the same from high school?
It changed. Yeah, because I did have some friends that were African American, so it definitely changed because they were respectful, and sometimes they just bring different questions to you, like because they're willing to know and willing to,
They're curious about your culture. Yeah. So my last question, then I hand it over back to Darian. And so now that you had that experience in college, in the workforce, has that translated also, or is it majority people that's making fun of you and stuff like that?
So after college, I've met, everybody's respectful. I've not met any disrespectful African American.
So the disrespectful ones were the ones in high school?
Yes.
And now you think that's the majority, or is that the...
So for me, I think it just gets better.
What do you mean by that?
So I think people in high school, I just think they're teenagers and they're just trying to be cool by bashing you and making you feel some type of way. But we're adults now.
It's a cry for help.
Yeah.
Really.
So would you say they got better as they were growing up, or they've just been learning how to hide it?
I think
Maybe now they are wiser. They know they don't want to say stupid stuff that might ruin their career. Maybe probably when they want to move up higher in life.
So it might be.
So are you
underneath?
Are you sure they are not just now learning how to do it in a more subtle way than the brutal way they were doing it before?
There was a girl in high school that in the beginning of high school she was very rude and disrespectful and all that to me, and we got to 12th grade. And she changed, actually. She came to me, she said, "Victory, remember I used to be this way and that way."
That's good.
So I think the more they're exposed, the better they behave towards.
Maybe she met one Yoruba. Then she's like, okay, I think I have to do better. Anyway, it's a lot, I can imagine from when you started to, going to university, in college, everything that you had to deal with. You letting us know you've learned to deal with this yourself and not maybe involve your parents and so on and so forth. So I'll say, if I tell you independence, what comes to your mind?
Independence to me means I think it means a lot. Just being able to navigate life by yourself. You have your own values, you have your own belief system, and being allowed to do that is independence.
Did your parents change? Did your parents' parenting approach change from when they were in Africa to when they were here?
No, from childhood, I've been taught to be independent. So as I grew older, I became more of their friend, though. So I would say maybe that's the
difference. So do they reciprocate that? So are you still the baby to them, or do they say, "Oh, okay, Victoria is a CC now," in terms of African?
They just see me as someone that's grown up, and sometimes they seek advice from me. Yeah, sometimes before they make decisions.
Beautiful. So now you become the OG now. Look at that.
Yeah.
Yeah, how tables are turned.
Yeah.
That's dope.
African parents can be like that though. Like when they know you've got it.
Yeah, that shows.
They'll come to you
They'll
because
say,
they know you have it.
but it takes a lot. You gotta prove yourself
That you
to
have
get
sense.
there.
That you have sense.
So it's almost at a place where you almost start to feel good too. Like, oh, my parents is like, wow, okay, I've made it.
Yeah, because it takes a lot for them to. African parents take a lot for them to like come and talk to me about this stuff. And I know you have like siblings, right? Like I anchored your, what do you call it, the graduation party. So so I'm not going to like say what everybody said. So what did you think coming here changed the kind of relationship you guys had? Like, because now you guys are the only you have each other, right? You have each other's back. In Africa, everybody's for themselves. I have my cliques and my friends, you also have yours. But did you feel like when you got into this country it became I have to have her back and I have to have his back and stuff like that?
My siblings and I have always had a very close-knit relationship. Like,
beautiful.
They're my best friend.
Beautiful.
So, yeah. It did nothing. I mean, as we grow older, it just gets better and better. Because now we're mature, we're seeing life. So we're able to, we can have conversations about anything. So,
beautiful. Yeah. That's dope.
That's nice because I know already. Anyways, I'm not strange to that.
And the African home, you're supposed to call the older one auntie and uncle, and I feel like that. My parents didn't enforce that, and I think that really helped us to
get closer.
Yeah.
So I can also relate with that because my parents schooled in the US. They never really enforced that. But you see uncles and aunties who
yes.
they didn't allow that. Uncles and aunties in Africa didn't allow that fly.
Yeah.
But you know what? So like my immediate other brother, I don't call him brother or anything. He doesn't call the next person to him or anything, but I call the one that is before him.
Got it, brother.
A sister or brother and stuff like that. But it was pressure from aunties and uncles and not from my parents. My parents, I don't call anybody whatever you want to call them. Yeah.
I think it's different when you're a junior. For me, I'm a junior. So it's my dad. I have the same name as my father. So so
can I just call you?
You know what I mean?
You have to specify which you call it.
Yeah, now as an adult, I have to tell them like, no, you need to address me this way because I'm not. Yeah, I understand I'm a junior, but I'm not like you can't call me junior because that's no. I'm 30. I'm almost 40 now. Calling me junior is crazy.
All right, so Victory, like your story, your story now is is making your name more interesting for you.
Yeah, literally.
You've been victorious, with all these audios and all these stories. And honestly speaking, me seeing you maybe every Sunday, I know you might disagree with that. Me seeing you, go to the altar, sing your heart out, do all this. Nobody will ever look at you and think you went through that. You went through what you just living with us now, and that is also testament to the fact that you're grown, you have the confidence, and there's nothing anybody can say. The talent that I know you have, that I've seen, you need to come to church. You need to see her belt out those notes. You had all these things in you. You've always had them. So regardless of what someone says about you, I know it's difficult, but you've been able to overcome this to the level that you are now. And I think that is a great victory for you.
Thank you.
As a person. And I applaud that. But now, you're no longer in school. I mean, are you still doing master's now?
Not yet.
Not yet? Okay. Now you're now, like Yoruba we say, you are now in the world.
Yeah.
You're now in the labor market, doing other stuff. How would you say your experience has been in general? Let me just start that way.
It's been a lot. There's always something. Yeah, you're now, whatever decision you make, just know it's gonna affect you in the long run. So you have to be very careful and think things through and do your research, and it's just more responsibility on yourself. So yeah.
I know we discussed this, and this is one of the first teas you gave us, which is like the way people see you. People talking about your skin color, how darker you are, and everything. But now that you are here, body image for you, with all the pressure is no longer in high school. It's now on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's now on Facebook. It's now on TikTok. It's now on how you want to travel to Colombia to do stuff. Body image for you. How challenging is it?
I'm not moved by what I see on Instagram. I think that we are all built differently, and I think variety is beautiful, right? So
Beautiful.
I'm not moved by anybody else. If I want to be a certain way, it's because I really want to be that way, not because you influenced me to be that way. So yeah.
With this conversation we having, I had it with someone, and a young lady as well. And I was trying to let her. She was talking about, it's good to if you're not okay with your body, she doesn't find anything wrong in going and enhancing it and stuff like that. So I'm like, okay, it's okay.
In the gym?
No, I mean going to traveling to
surgery.
do it. Doing some surgical work. I'm like, okay, that is the way. If that is the way you think now, I'll say too bad for you. What you don't know is that there are men that are looking for just you the way you are.
Yeah.
There are guys, the ones that you want to go and do bomb for, and you want to go and enhance your body for, they are there. But there are still some guys too that want you the way
As
you are.
is.
Nobody's ever going to marry you because of bomb. Forget it.
And if they do, that's a wrong.
Your own is not the biggest anyway, so why you? So if you like, go and do it and make a very big one. There is another one that is bigger than yours. So if someone is marrying you because of your body, they are going to find one that is bigger. So when they find one that is bigger, so what happens to the one you do? You go back and re-enhance it. Then you go back and re-enhance it. Then at the end of the day.
So her reasoning for doing that was so that she what?
Yeah, so because she didn't feel comfortable in her body.
Wow.
So I told her the people that are pressuring you on social media, they are not actually peppering you, they are impressing other people. You decide to go there and feel oppressed. Because when they posted that picture, they didn't tag you. They didn't post it and say, Victory, did you see your life? Look at the way I look at. Nobody did that. They just posted a picture. They have people that they want to impress. You went there, saw it and felt like, oh, I think I want to have this kind of a body because of the way this person is doing. You don't have the same type of men or women that she has. Your own level of social media family is different. So if you now go and do it, you might attract them, fine. But you have missed out on those guys that want you the way you are. And those ones are the real ones for you. Because I can buy a toy. It doesn't mean I want to keep it. And that's the reality. It doesn't mean I want to keep it. I might just play with it and throw it away. Do you know how many toys I buy in my house every week? They just play with it and they throw it away. They don't want it anymore. They want a new toy. So for that time, you are enjoying the attention, but there's always another better toy that is outside there. So, hey. With these few words of mine, I hope I've been able to convince and not confuse you. That was what I told.
That was the intent.
No, I mean not for you. I mean that was what I told her.
Right.
So that is why I'm asking her that question now. Of
like, do you feel the pressure?
Do you feel the pressure? Like when you go online and you see
what's your experience?
I
Or you just don't pay attention to that? You focus on other stuff.
Yeah, I just focus on other stuff. I'm not. I like myself, and that's where self-love comes in. If you love yourself, like, why are you moved by what the other person got?
So let me ask the question, because there's people out there that may want to know. So are you single, looking for mates? What's that? What's that like? Because there are a lot of bachelors out there that are looking for people. Who knows? Like,
I'm single, and that's it.
That's it. Are you looking or not? So what's the story there?
They're looking. The guys are the ones that's supposed to look.
But if a suitable bachelor approaches you, what's the response he would get? And do you have a deadline for yourself?
Do you have a deadline
of when you want to make sure you have a family together?
I think every lady has.
You'd be surprised. These African American ones, though, they wake up at 40. You might need to tell them how to go about this. Do you have any wisdom that you can share?
Oh my God.
Yeah, no.
No.
For me,
okay.
Speaking for myself, I'm not putting that pressure on myself.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anybody that needs to talk to Victory, you have to pay me a consultancy fee.
The matchmaking fee.
Because it's not easy to find someone that is this talented,
and running on all cylinders.
Like, I don't know. Maybe they need to come to church on Sunday.
That's a good start.
Maybe that's a good place to start, and see you and see the way you're respectful and you talk to people and people talk to you. And you give joy when you can, And when you said you've not always been the type of person that, walks up to people, but when people walk up to you, you can talk to them. I know that, I know you're not the type that will probably be like me, Because for me, I talk to everybody. I talk to everybody. If I know you, I'll talk to you. Even if I don't know you, and I just walk up to you and talk to you.
Right.
And I've come talk to you, and we've had like good discussions for like 2 minutes, 1 minute, and everybody is going. So I know like it's not as if you're a snob. If someone talks to you, you talk to them as well. You have a conversation with them. You're not just the type that goes and just talk to everybody.
Yeah.
And that is also a different class in itself,
Absolutely.
As a lady, that is also a different class. It's a way of you respecting yourself.
Absolutely.
Because the way the world sees it is, if you're the type that is always, talking to people, they take you for something else. People misinterpret your intentions. Especially for me, I'm a guy, you can misinterpret it. It's not my problem. But as a female, like it's different, you can talk to someone and be like, I wish she likes me. That's why she's talking to me. I wish she's giving me a green light. So, and you want to, like stay in your lane so that person can find you, on your lane in your course and what you're doing.
Can I ask you a question? You mentioned religion earlier. I don't know if it was. So my question is, when did religion become a big part of your life, and where does that stem from?
So I was born into a Christian home.
Okay.
So I've been a church girl all my life, and through my insecurities, when I found God, that's where my intimacy with Him began to grow. Okay. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Oh, so nice. So how has your relationship with God helped you navigate your experience in America?
First, I don't know. I think just being able to discern, and the Holy Spirit is there to guide you, and the Holy Spirit is your friend. So even in times where, like I said, I'm an introvert, like I still have the Holy Spirit as my friend. Like I'm not missing anything, because He's there, and I'm grateful for that experience, because sometimes we expect people to feel the void that they can't. And having the Holy Spirit, help me develop in that area is like, okay, you have less expectations.
Beautiful. So you bring down that
Yeah.
pressure for yourself.
Yeah.
What's your view of African Americans and religion? How do you see them when it comes to religion?
I know a lot of them are like that I've encountered are Christians, and I don't know. I don't look much into
it.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So Victory, recently you had a program, right?
Yes.
So do you want to tell us about it?
Yeah. So I had a program called Brunch and Bloom, and it's a program to help foster a godly relationship amongst women, because female friendships can be funny and interesting and all that, even in the Christian space. So Brunch and Bloom was a vision given to me by God to help bring women together. Through that event, reconciliations are meant to happen, healing. A lot of people have been heartbroken from friendships. Like, friendship hurt goes deeper than like a romantic relationship hurt. So many people are struggling in that area, and some people have isolated themselves over the years, saying that it's God calling them into isolation, and God has called us to relate with each other.
Yeah.
So Bunch of Bloom is just that platform to help bring ladies together, to network, to meet new people, and all that.
How often do you do this?
So I had the first edition like 2 weeks ago. So
beautiful.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a yearly thing.
So where can our viewers get some more information about this?
So you can search up Word with Victory. I have the entire I don't want to call it ministry.
Platform.
It's called it's called that just sounded,
I got you.
Word with Victory. I write on there, and Brunch and Bloom is under Word with Victory. So whatever information you have, you're looking for, or whatever questions you have, you can just reach me on Instagram at Word with Victory, and on TikTok.
So Word with Victory on Instagram.
Yes.
And then wordwithvictory.com.
No, on TikTok.
On TikTok. Okay.
All right. So, that's a very great initiative. I would say, it takes a lot for you to look at your surroundings, look at what problem people have, and trying to provide solution.
Mm-hmm.
That is another level of awareness that people take for granted. Not everybody has this. Some people might even have it, but they don't even know where to start from or how to go about it.
Or don't do anything with
it. But you realized it, you saw it, and you're like, okay, I'm going to do something about this, whereby we can make more friends and, have less enemies, go to this world and win together. Which is similar to what we're doing in Real Afro Unity. We're providing trainings for people. We're talking to people. We want to build a bridge, to connect Africans and American immigrants. So, if I tell you Real Afro Unity, what comes to your
mind? Real Afro Unity, I think of a community with good intention, a community to bring people together, to promote unity in this land.
Our experience,
Yeah, so that's what I think, bringing bridging the gap, basically. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So forming that community, building the community, everyone is welcome regardless of what your background is. So yeah.
Exactly. And that is what we do at Real Afro Unity. I feel like there's more that joins us than what separates us.
Yes.
And I feel like people are sometimes just stupid, or they don't know.
And that's why we're here.
And that is
to inform them,
yes,
show them the perspective that may be different. So here you speaking, we have the opportunity to speak to an African American, Nigerian American that migrated to this country, has her experience and is able to now contribute to this country through her platform. So, unity is a big part of the immigrants' experience here. So, and we want to create a platform for that.
Yeah. Because
it's really needed, because the other option is just the media manipulating us.
So what how would I put this? I'll say, what role did friendship play in your integration into American society? Were you able to quickly make friends that could show you around, let you know about stuff, or you just have to Google yourself?
Google is my best friend. Yeah. Another place to find friendship, because it can get really lonely, coming into a new place, and if you're leaving a place you've called home for a long time to a foreign land, that could be very, very,
nerve-wracking.
Yeah, that could be. Some people go into depression.
Right. So what was the second option you said? So what?
Going to church.
Oh, church.
For me, you can easily find community at church. Yeah.
Let's say you had 50 friends when you were in Africa.
Mm-hmm.
How many friends are you still in contact with?
One.
Wow, out of 50.
I didn't even have that.
No, I'm just trying to
percentage
wise. Let's say you had
one.
So you're in contact with 1% of 100 or 10% of 100. So what made that person stand out that you're still talking to?
So this person is like my sister. They used to say that we look like twins.
Wow.
So because of distance and communication and all that, I used to reach out to a lot of people back in Nigeria, but everybody was just going apart. Yeah, but this person is the only one that
consistent.
We don't talk every day, but when we talk, we talk. Yeah.
Everyone has that.
Yeah.
So, before I go to my quick fire questions, this one is not more putting you on the spot than what I did before.
Mm-hmm.
Put you on the spot before.
Well, I'm sure.
So
I'm just looking out for my single guys out there.
So, this is what I want to ask you. Now, you're no longer a baby. You've done high school, you've done graduation, working. It's young like this. No pressure.
I set it up.
And this is not me pressurizing you. I'm not a bad African uncle. So this is not me. But I just want to, take your own view really about men, maybe, I'm not saying maybe sexually or romance-wise. How do you see guys when they walk up to you, or when someone tries to get to know you? Do you just look at this one and say, this one is stupid, I'm not interested? Or do you say, okay, I want to listen?
Well, damn.
No, that's
some two options.
Some people will be stupid anyway. So, because they might not be stupid, they might just come to you in a different way that
in a disrespectful
way that or a way that you find disrespectful.
I don't think any guy has done that to me, because they always say my face, I don't smile or whatever, and I don't believe that. But what I do say is, I think the face actually filters them out. So that's what
if you're bold enough to come up to me,
then you have to think twice. If you're coming with ill intentions, then you see my face. Just pack well.
So do you fall into the category of people that they might look tough, but if you get to know them, they're actually a sweet person?
Yeah, I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
That is true, because you don't want to mess around. When you meet people like that, you want to be sure of what you're going there to say. Mm-hmm. I think what I normally do, sometimes that put me in trouble. Mm-hmm. In this kind of situations, I try to be funny. Mm-hmm. Then if I say a bad joke, I'm in trouble. If she doesn't laugh, then I'm dead, because at that point I don't know what to say anymore. But if she laughs or she smiles and you say, "What do you mean?" Then that gives me an opportunity to start a conversation and everything. So do you say, if you look at it percentage-wise, do you get more of white people or do you get more of black people?
Oh, more black people.
More of black people.
Yeah,
Africans or African Americans?
both.
Caribbeans?
All of them.
All right. So,
What do you do for fun?
What do I do for fun? I'm such a boring person.
Go ahead.
So I just, watch different shows, just random shows, Netflix, YouTube, anywhere,
Go.
Definitely.
Afrobeat or American hip hop?
I don't really listen to any of them, but Afrobeats all the way.
Wait, you don't listen to American music?
I do, but not,
Not something you will go to.
just mostly like gospel contemporary.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kirk Franklin or Bidemi Olawa?
Both.
I said, oh, you have to choose. You have to choose one. So if you don't know Bidemi Olawa, it's like a Nigerian gospel.
You can't even compare them.
Yeah, that is why I'm like.
Yeah.
Which one would you go to, like Bidemi Olawa or Kirk Franklin?
I don't answer that.
Okay. All right. Jollof rice or mac and cheese?
Jollof rice. I love mac and cheese, but jollof rice.
So what is your best American dish?
Mac and cheese.
Can I ask you
Funny
something?
enough, that is mine.
Yeah,
That
he
is
likes
mine.
that stuff.
Yeah.
And I hate it. I don't know. I make it well though, but I don't like it at all. Well, not all the time. My question is, what's the most American thing you've done?
I can't think of one right now, but maybe. What is an American thing to do
Exactly.
actually?
That's us. What do you define as an American? That's why I asked the
So
question.
I don't.
A hot dog, burger. Have you been to a 4th of July barbecue? Actually, what do you define as American? Let me ask you that question.
American.
Like a patriotic thing, like an American thing.
Like the holidays, like Thanksgiving holidays, 4th of July stuff.
So that's why I'm thinking
Barbecue,
that don't we do Thanksgiving in Africa?
No.
Like
Independence?
Not
Yes.
turkey. I'm saying Thanksgiving. Period.
That one is every Sunday.
Yeah,
So
I mean,
it's
just
the same-
the
they
whole-
just have a day
There's
here.
no talking.
Yeah.
There's no talking.
But they have a day. That's it. But you celebrating things.
but that's
No,
why
it's
it's
not the same.
American.
That's why it's
What
American.
makes it American?
Because it's just a specific day.
It's a specific
We do
day.
it often, and they just have a day
One day.
dedicated to
That's
it.
insightful for an American. That's why I'm asking
so,
you.
yeah, it's just a day dedicated, and we just do it, every first Sunday of
Every
the
first
month?
Sunday of the month.
Or
Every
last
Sunday.
Sunday of the month,
Yeah.
depending on your...
Right.
Yeah.
Church. So I need an answer. What's the most American thing you've ever done?
Maybe... See, I don't really do a lot of
Just okay.
but I can't
Okay.
think of it.
All right. What's the most random thing you've done since you've been in America?
Just random.
Nothing comes to me.
Nothing is coming to mind. I
Okay.
don't know why,
I'll
but
say this. Go to a friend's birthday party or stay at home.
yeah.
All right. So that's why you can't answer the question. We need more.
White guy or a black guy?
Hey, God.
Don't get our
Which-
channel flagged.
Whichever
You
one
just started, bro.
God blesses me with.
That's the right answer. That's the right answer. That's a political answer right there. Actually, politics. So who do you think you're gonna be voting for this election? And have you voted before?
No.
Okay.
I mean, if you don't want to say,
If you don't want to say, it's fine.
I don't want to go into that.
Okay, good. All right, good. Wise. Very smart.
Very smart, very smart. So, for me as a person, I have lived through betrayals, I've lived through expecting a lot from someone that's just giving me very little. I have lived with disappointment and everything. What is that one experience that you have lived through that you can never forget?
Do I want to say it?
Yeah, why not?
You don't have to mention names.
Yeah, no names.
I think
fully anonymous.
Putting your all in a particular maybe friendship and just being treated like less than. I think for me it goes deep, and because me, if you're my friend and I love you, I go far, I don't care if it's uncomfortable, but being treated as less than is something that's
from the same person or just in general.
I mean, just in general. Yeah.
So for me, when I'm heartbroken, I just do two things.
Mm-hmm.
I sleep or I find something to eat. It might just be for that. I'm just beginning, I'm not even like the food type of person, I hardly eat and stuff like that. But when I'm heartbroken, or someone does something that hurts me for me, so that I just go and lay down on my bed, cover myself and just sleep. I wake up and continue my life. Or I just look for something good that I feel like eating and eat it. How do you cope?
Wow, that's a good question.
Journaling. Again, I like to put everything down and find where, connections and everything. And most of the time, I beat myself up instead of the person because they must have shown you these traits
in some way.
Yeah, but
you overlooked it.
Yeah, and make excuses for people. And when people wrong me, I want to know why. Because I don't think that you would just want to
do it for no reason.
Yeah,
So I have two more. I'll go to my next one. If you have a diary, you journal it.
I have my journal. Yes.
If I lay my hands on it and I pick it up, what type of person would I say you are?
Someone that's that's usually deep in thought, an overthinker. Yeah. And someone that's so ambitious.
Beautiful. Where does that ambition come from?
I don't know. I think because I'm so much of an overthinker and I spend so much time alone, I just go deep and it just.
But you gotta. I see that. I can feel it too. I'm the same way, honestly, and it will get to a point where it's gonna overwhelm you. So yes. I think you've started very well by journaling. That's a very good way to out. But you got to do something creative. So I think the next time we speak to you, I'm going to ask you about what's the most creative thing you've done since we talked. And I honestly want you to explore it because that's going to be another outlet for you.
I actually like to go sip and painting.
So you like to paint?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that's okay. So that's a way to let out some of your thoughts and emotions in an abstract way.
I've been invited to that 1 million times. I've declined 1 million times. I can't even draw one and make it straight.
No, we'll do that with the kids. We'll do it.
I've declined it because I just look at myself like, this drawing thing is not for me.
It doesn't have to be, bro. I'm terrible at it.
It's just to get out of your head.
Yeah.
Give yourself something to do that's not in your head.
Yes.
Giving yourself a break.
Wow. Okay. I'm waiting for the invite. But on that note, I want to say victory.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you
for joining us in this conversation.
Yeah, Thank you.
It's been a very great insight to the strong woman you become.
Thank you.
And I look forward to, being there as an African uncle that day with my 1,500. Spraying the dollars, and contributing my own quota as not just that, in every big a stride that
Mm-hmm.
you mark in your life. I will strive and do my best to be there so that I can celebrate with you.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows? We might have him and I'm governor.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's my
Amen.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
it was a pleasure having you. I do want to ask you, like, to if you have like last words that you want to share with anybody that's watching this, that's inspired by your story and how you persevered through what your initial experiences here in the States. What would you tell that person that's watching this that may be going through it or is inspired by your story?
We do have different seasons in our lives, and you will definitely come out of that, low season. We have ups, we have downs, and the most important relationship to invest in is one with God. If you invest your relationship with God, I mean, it's always worth it. You can never regret it. It's never a mistake to invest in a relationship with God. So just take that step of faith.
Yeah. It was a pleasure speaking to you. I'm impressed by you and your accomplishments. I wish you many more.
Amen.
And as Darren said, I'll also be there with our brother.
Amen.
And stuff,
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And on that note,
Goodbye,
Thank you.
guys.
Bye.
out.